Have you ever been in a situation where you were absolutely certain you were right, only to be ignored, ridiculed, or even punished for it? It's a frustrating experience, but what if I told you that being right too soon can actually be dangerous? It sounds counterintuitive, doesn't it? We are taught to seek the truth, to be honest, to be insightful. But history and human psychology tell a more complicated story. A story where seeing the truth before anyone else can get you into a lot of trouble. Think about Galileo Galilei. He looked through his telescope and saw that the Earth revolved around the sun. It was the truth, a fact of the cosmos. But in the 17th century, this truth was a threat to the established order, a challenge to the power of the church. His reward for this revolutionary insight? House arrest for the rest of his life. He was right, but he was right too early. Or consider Ignaz Semmelweis, a doctor in the 1840s who discovered that if doctors simply washed their hands before delivering babies, the death rate of new mothers would plummet. It was a life-saving truth. But his colleagues were offended by the suggestion that their hands were unclean. They dismissed his ideas, and Semmelweis was driven out of the medical community, eventually dying in an asylum. Years later, his hand-washing theory became standard practice, but it was too late for him. This isn't just something that happens to famous figures in history books. It happens in our everyday lives. Have you ever been the one in a work meeting who points out a fundamental flaw in a new project, only to be met with awkward silence or told you're not a team player? Or maybe in a relationship, you saw a problem that your partner wasn't ready to face, and your honesty created distance instead of solving the issue. The core of the problem lies in power and psychology. Established structures, whether they're corporations, social groups, or even just individual egos, are built on a set of accepted beliefs. When you introduce a new truth that contradicts those beliefs, you're not just sharing information, you're shaking the very foundations of their world. You're implicitly saying, what you believe is wrong, and I am right. That can feel like a personal attack, threatening people's status, their sense of competence, and their comfort. Let me tell you a quick story about a junior analyst named Alex. Fresh out of college, Alex was brilliant with data. While reviewing market trends for his company, he spotted a subtle but dangerous flaw in their best-selling product's positioning. He saw a competitor was about to launch a superior product that would make theirs obsolete. He built a detailed presentation, full of charts and undeniable data, and brought it to his senior manager. The manager, who had built his career on that very product, glanced at the report and dismissed it. "You're too inexperienced to see the big picture, Alex," he said. "Don't rock the boat." Alex tried to warn others, but he was labeled a troublemaker. 6 months later, the competitor launched their product. Alex's company's sales collapsed. The manager was eventually let go, and the company suffered massive losses. Alex was proven right, but by then, the damage was done. He had seen the truth, but no one was ready to listen. So why is this resistance to new ideas so common? It's deeply wired into our psychology. One of the biggest culprits is something called cognitive dissonance. This is the mental discomfort we feel when we hold two conflicting beliefs at the same time, or when new information clashes with our existing beliefs. To get rid of this discomfort, it's often easier to reject the new information than to change a deeply held belief. So, when Alex presented his report, his manager faced a choice: either accept that his career-defining product was flawed, or reject Alex's data. Rejecting the data was the easier, more comfortable path. Then there's confirmation bias. Our brains are naturally wired to look for and favor information that confirms what we already believe. We actively filter out or dismiss anything that contradicts our worldview. Alex's colleagues were looking for data that proved their strategy was working. His counter-evidence was an unwelcome anomaly that they were psychologically primed to ignore. And of course, there's the simple fear of change. The known, even if it's flawed, feels safer than the unknown. A new truth often requires new actions, new strategies, and a lot of effort. It means admitting past mistakes and stepping into uncertainty. For many people and organizations, the status quo is a warm, comfortable blanket, and they're not eager to have it pulled away, even if it's on fire. So, if you're the one with the inconvenient truth, what do? Just stay silent? Not necessarily. But you have to be strategic. You have to become what I call a wise truth teller. This isn't about hiding the truth, but about presenting it in a way that people can actually hear. First, timing is everything. Dropping a truth bomb in the middle of a celebratory meeting is a recipe for disaster. Wait for the right moment, a time when people are more open to reflection. perhaps when small problems have already started to appear and they're looking for solutions. Second, framing is crucial. Don't present your idea as a criticism of the past. Instead, frame it as an opportunity for the future. Instead of saying, "Our old strategy was wrong," you could say, "I found an exciting new way we can build on our past success to capture an even bigger market." Use collaborative language like "we" instead of "you." Make people feel like they are part of the discovery, not the target of your criticism. Third, build alliances. Don't go it alone. Find one or two respected individuals in the group and share your idea with them privately. Get their feedback and support. When you present your idea to the larger group, you won't be a lone voice. You'll have credible allies backing you up. An idea presented by a group is much harder to dismiss than an idea from a single troublemaker. And finally, provide undeniable, incremental proof. Instead of demanding a massive, immediate change, propose a small-scale pilot project or experiment. Say, "What if we just test this idea with a small budget for 1 month? Here's how we can measure success." This lowers the risk and allows people to see the evidence for themselves. A small, successful experiment is the most powerful argument you can make. Of course, even with the best strategy, some truths will only be recognized in the long run. Galileo and Semmelweis were eventually vindicated, but it happened long after they were gone. Their stories serve as a powerful reminder that the arc of history does bend toward truth, even if it takes a while. The ideas that were once considered heresy often become the common sense of the next generation. This long-term vindication is the ultimate reward for the courageous truth-teller. It's a legacy that proves their foresight was not madness, but genius that was simply ahead of its time. So, what does this all mean for us? This is a two-sided call to action. If you are the truth-teller, the Alex, the Galileo of your world, don't let the fear of resistance silence you. Your insights are valuable. But be wise. Be a strategist. Understand the psychology of the people you're talking to. Frame your truth not as a weapon, but as a gift. Build bridges, not walls. Your job is not just to be right, it's to be effective. And if you are on the receiving end, a manager, a friend, a team member, I challenge you to be more open. When someone presents an idea that makes you uncomfortable or challenges your beliefs, take a breath. Resist the knee-jerk reaction to dismiss it. Ask yourself, what if they're right? Cultivate the humility to listen and the courage to change your mind. The next great idea that could save your company, improve your relationships, or change the world might come from the most unexpected person, and your willingness to listen could make all the difference. Seeing the truth too early is dangerous, but burying the truth is catastrophic. The key is to navigate that danger with wisdom, empathy, and strategic patience. Thanks so much for watching. If this idea resonated with you, let me know in the comments. And for more videos that challenge the way you think, don't forget to like and subscribe. See you next time.